What's up, YouTube? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low, and we are only in week 1 of the regular season, and we already have a terrible hot take about one of the better players in the league. Over the past couple of months, the Warriors have lost a few players, most noteworthy being Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Shaun Livingston, and Andre Iguodala. Because of the loss of talent, there were a lot of questions on how well were the Warriors going to do in this upcoming year. Now, unfortunately, that question won't be answered fairly because Curry is going to miss a significant amount of time due to a broken hand injury that he sustained early on in the year. However, while presenting this question, there are a lot of people who are making claims about Steph Curry's career that is just completely inaccurate.
What we don't yet know is, can he do what we have seen the other great players in this league do, which is when you don't have great supporting players around you, when you do have to be something of a one-man show, is that something that his game is suited for?
So what am I referring to? The claim is that Steph Curry, as great as he is, he's never been able to lead a marginally talented roster to the playoffs, to a 45-win, first-round exit season that for whatever reason people believe will hold value in his career. Now in this video, not only will I explain why that's just completely inaccurate, but also I will explain why that logic is completely flawed and ignorant. But before I do that, let me give a huge shout out to today's sponsors, and they are SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an app that allows its users to buy tickets to their favorite events they want to attend at very reasonable prices. And I'm pretty sure many of you all already know this. However, what you may not be aware of is a new feature that SeatGeek has called Daily Tap. The Daily Tap is a weekly giveaway in which SeatGeek prizes hundreds of dollars in promotions and free tickets to the winner, and it's very simple to enter. All you have to do is open up the app on your phone. At the very top, you will see where it clearly tells you to enter into the Daily Tap. Click on the feature, it'll redirect you to the page where literally all you have to do is tap on a button, and there you go. You have now entered the giveaway. And the greatest part about it is that you can repeat this process every day for the entire week, hence the phrase Daily Tap. And this week in particular is very special because to kick off the NBA season, SeatGeek is giving away a $500 promotion to any NBA ticket to the winner of the Daily Tap giveaway. But even if you don't win, as always, you can still use my promo code LOW on $20 off on your first purchase. And like I always do, to make it easy for everyone, all you have to do is go in the description and click the link below, and it'll redirect you to the platform. Again, huge shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and make sure you go check out the Daily Tap.
For the Warriors, can you do what so many other teams have to do every year, which is get up to play knowing best we can do is the 7 seed. A great season for us would be an amazing season for us would be an upset in the first round of the playoffs.
So first things first, let's just get this out of the way. The concept that Curry has never led a problematic roster to a postseason appearance is completely inaccurate. For whatever reason, people act like Curry's career just started in 2015, when the reality is, if you date back to the 2 years prior, you can clearly see examples of Steph Curry leading a team that more or less overachieved by significant margins. Especially in the 2013 season, which before the year even began, many experts and analysts didn't even have the Golden State Warriors making the playoffs. A huge reason for this has to do with lack of experience, not only from the team, but also from a coaching position, because Mark Jackson was entering his second year as a head coach, and also potential injury problems from not only Curry, but also Andrew Bogut. And there are very good reasons to why these claims were presented to make the Golden State Warriors in 2013 seem more so as a lottery team than a playoff team. At the starting guard spots, you have both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Now, I know many people are going to sit here and say, well, he's playing with Klay, but people, please, and I've stated this multiple times before, just because a player at one point of his career was playing at an elite level doesn't mean that he was playing at that level throughout his entire career. Granted, Klay Thompson, even during the 2013 campaign, was a great three-point shooter. He was only entering his second year in the league, and defensively, he was nowhere near as great as he has been over the past 5 years. At the small forward position, the Warriors were supposed to have a healthy rotation of Harrison Barnes, Brandon Rush, and Richard Jefferson. However, after a torn ACL in the second game of the regular season, Brandon Rush was ruled out for the rest of the year. Then you have Richard Jefferson, who was 32 and dealing with injuries periodically throughout the year, so he was in and out of the lineup and only played 56 games, which left Harrison Barnes to start at the small forward position, which may not come across as that problematic. However, when you put into context that Harrison Barnes was a rookie, then you can clearly understand why people were concerned about the depth at the small forward spot. At the power forward spot, you have David Lee, and then finally at the 5, you have Andrew Bogut. However, he only played 32 games during the regular season, and many people knew before the regular season even began that Bogut dealing with injuries was going to be a problem since he missed the entire preseason. And Andre Biedrich, who was supposed to be a backup center, was also dealing with injuries as well, which meant that throughout the games that Bogut wasn't available, Festus Ezeli had to be the starting center for the Golden State Warriors in 2013. However, he was a rookie, so of course that is again very problematic. So if you actually look at the 8-man rotation, excluding Bogut since he only played 32 games, we're talking about a team that is mostly made up of 4 players who are either rookies or a sophomore, 2 players coming off of the bench, and then the last 2 players are David Lee and Steph Curry. So the fact that the Warriors were able to win 47 games and make the playoffs in and of itself should prove that Steph Curry can lead a team. Now, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people out there who are going to make the argument that Curry wasn't the best player on the roster because David Lee was the one who received the individual accolades as an All-Star and an All-NBA performer. However, if you actually watch the 2013 Warriors, many people would make very legitimate arguments that Curry was the better player, and the only reason why he didn't receive individual accolades has a lot to do with the position that he played more so than his impact, because as many of us are aware, as a guard, it's harder to receive individual awards as All-Star appearances and All-NBA selections, especially when you're playing out west, than it is for a forward or a center. But even if that's not enough proof for you, in the first round when the Nuggets matched up with the Warriors, David Lee only played 1 game due to an injury sustained to his hip, and the Warriors were still able to advance to the next round. And of course, in that series, the Warriors were led by Steph Curry, and did so while matching up against a Denver Nuggets team that had 10 more games in their win column, was a top 5 offense, and finished 11th in defensive rating. But even if you're still stuck on the concept that Curry wasn't an All-Star nor All-NBA player that year, in the very next year, Curry was able to accomplish those feats. And not only did Curry receive those honors in 2014, but he was the only All-Star and All-NBA performer on the Warriors and finished 6th in the MVP race. So people, please stop acting as if Curry's career started back in 2015. Please stop acting like Curry didn't have to climb to this level of excellence. And stop acting as if like Curry didn't have to overcome hurdles to get to where he's at today. Because when you do, you make statements like this.
For the Warriors, can you do what so many other teams have to do every year, which is get up to play knowing best we can do is the 7 seed.
Without realizing that you're actually depicting a team that Curry was on back in 2013.
3 backcourt players in the NBA that year on otherwise mediocre squads said, guys, I got it. Little Isaiah Thomas, remember him with the Boston Celtics, where Al Horford and Avery Bradley were his next best teammates? He averaged 29 and 6, they won 53 games.
Now, the second part to this bad argument is that other guards have been able to lead bad teams to the playoffs, so why can't we expect it from Curry? Heck, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Isaiah Thomas were able to do it back in 2017. Well, for starters, let's just overlook the fact that when people make this argument that they are obviously overlooking the first stages of Curry's career back in 2013 and 2014 that I stated in a previous segment. But furthermore, to believe that this Warriors team and the supporting cast that was going to surround Curry in this upcoming year is comparable to what we saw from those other organizations and the supporting cast that they surrounded their guards with is laughable. For example, look at the 2017 Boston Celtics. Around Isaiah Thomas, you had Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Amir Johnson, and Kelly Olynyk. Looking at that team, you can clearly acknowledge that this team has some really good defensive pieces, and they also have some three-point shooting as well, so they can space out the floor. This identifiable talent makes it easier for the coach to build an identity with the roster that makes it easier for them to win regular season games. Another example, the Houston Rockets. Look at the supporting cast that surrounded James Harden. You had Patrick Beverley, Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, and then they added Lou Williams at the trading deadline. Again, a lot of three-point shooters, and 2 defenders in Trevor Ariza and Patrick Beverley that can help out James Harden on that side of the floor. So again, identifiable playing styles from veterans that can build an identity for this team and help them win regular season games, despite the fact that they may not have a uber talented roster. Now let's do the same exercise with this year's Golden State Warriors. Around Curry, you have D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green, Eric Pascal, Glenn Robinson III, Jordan Poole, Damon Lee, and Kyren Bowman. Now I ask you this, what type of identity does this team have? I'll wait. I'll wait for you. Is it a 3-point shooting team, a defensive-oriented team? Is it a team that's going to get up and down and with an up-tempo offense? Is it a team you can throw the ball in the low post and kind of get some action with the big men? What type of team is this? You don't know. Because not only is this a team that had a massive overhaul, which means that majority of these players are brand new to the system, so they have to be taught from the ground up how to actually play as a Warrior, but also we are talking about inexperienced players who have yet to build an identity for themselves in the league. So again, it's really hard to build an identity when you don't know what you're going to get from these players on a night in and night out basis. So even though it sounds like it's a really good argument to some people, quite frankly, it's just lazy analysts from people who are trying to push a narrative who don't really know Steph Curry's career because, again, he was able to do this both in 2013 and in 2014.
It's a big year for Steph Curry's legacy because if they go 32-50 because he doesn't have enough help, that then when you're talking about is he the second greatest point guard of all time? Well, I know my guy Isaiah Thomas would say, I played on some teams that looked a lot like this Warriors team. We didn't go no 32-50.
But this part of the argument just takes the cake for me because for whatever reason, people in the NBA community continue to harp on this concept that if you have too much help throughout your career, it's really hard to gauge where we rank you all time. And what makes it even more interesting is when you have a person like Nick Wright making these claims while trying to determine where he's going to rank Curry amongst other all-time point guards, while acknowledging that Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard of all time. I mean, seriously, on a year-to-year basis, from start to finish, Magic Johnson consistently played with an extremely talented supporting cast. Yet nobody goes around and says, man, you know what, Magic is nice, but I don't know if I can put him in my top 10 because, you know, I've never seen him lead a bad team to 45 wins in a first-round exit. Nobody says that because we all have acknowledged that for some players, it is impressive that they may have led their team to 47 wins in a first-round exit because by many standards, that may have been overachieving. However, it is way more impressive to win a championship. Or heck, even if we're just talking about regular season success, we've all acknowledged that it's much more difficult to lead a team to 73 wins, regardless of the amount of talent that is around you. So with all that being said, people, hopefully I don't have to hear these stupid arguments about Curry anymore, but I'm pretty sure you're going to let me hear it in the comment section. So leave all your comments below. Also, huge shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring the video. Make sure you click the link in the description and use the daily tap on the app. And until next time, I will see you all later. Peace.